Howdy, folks. Brother Jim reporting here from End Times Prophecy News. Today, Attorney General Bill Barr said, "I personally believe a barrier on the southern border is needed," reiterating that Donald Trump's declaration of a border emergency is well needed. This is the second time and he did this at the House Appropriations Committee today. During his testimony, Barr told the committee he believes a border barrier is needed on the southern border. This was good news for the American people. Win, win, win. Are you getting tired? Because actually, we've just started. I personally believe that an important part in securing the southern border is to have a barrier system on the border, and I think that will happen or help in not only narcotics interdiction, but also in suppressing human trafficking. Oops, did Bill Barr just address the two major things that are reality? The drug trafficking and the human trafficking, rape, murder, and child sacrificing throughout the whole world. But it's going across this border, and it's killing our kids, and it's killing our adults and teenagers for drugs. And the Democrats have a big hand of money in it. After all, it is a fact that El Chapo, the world's largest drug cartel man, donated $15 million to the Clinton cartel. No, not the Clinton Foundation.
I personally believe that an important part of securing the southern border is to have a barrier system on the border. And I think that will help not only in narcotics interdiction, but also in suppressing human trafficking. And it's an important part of our enforcement.
Let me switch gears just a minute.
Now, you notice the way he said that again. It's sort of like, I'm being forced to do this to you, Dems. And remember, we just replaced Kirstjen Nielsen's Department of Homeland Security Secretary with McAleenan, who was an Obama appointee, as well as Bill Barr was an appointee. Of all the global elites, working back many decades and working with Robert Mueller for decades. Very good friends. What is going on? The Trump card. Trump is using, and it's very interesting that Trump is replacing these people that totally support him with Obama appointees that are actually doing far more than ever. Isn't Bill Barr doing much more than Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who we thought was fantastic? You gotta trust God. You know, they say you gotta trust the QAnon movement. No, you need to trust God, folks. I know the QAnon movement is nice and all that, but it is God who walks before Cyrus. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden to subdue nations before him. Kim Jong-un in North Korea right there. And I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the two-leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut. Now, this is the gates of hell that Jesus spoke of when he says, when he said to Simon Bar-Jonah in the Gospels, upon this rock I shall build my church. He wasn't talking about the cornerstone of himself. No, he was not talking in the third person. He was talking about Peter, who was the first to preach in the book of Acts on the day of Pentecost. All you have to do is read the text, folks. And no, Peter is not the first pope of the Roman Catholic Church or whore. That's all a fabrication of the Roman Catholic Church. There's not even Catholic in the Bible. The word Catholic, the word laity, and many other abominations and made-up words of the Roman Empire turned into a Roman Catholic Church in 325 AD, who actually put Jesus Christ on the cross. These two leave gates are the gates of hell, and the gates shall not be shut, because God is going to do what? He's going to go before Cyrus and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron, and I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord which called thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. Let's see. Nebuchadnezzar, I think it was Nebuchadnezzar, put Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, only to see that there was one more inside the fiery furnace that was so hot it burned his soldiers to death just by putting him in there. And that was the Lord Jesus Christ. And they came and walked out of the fiery furnace. It's very interesting, because here we have Obama appointees that are doing the work for us. Undercover police caught and confronted outside of Ecuadorian embassy in London spying on Julian Assange. On Friday, WikiLeaks revealed that two government sources said Assange's expulsion would be in a matter of hours or days, leading to a public backlash against the government and the intervention of two UN special reporters. Now, you got to understand that WikiLeaks is wicked. Why do you think they call themselves WikiLeaks? In response to a report from WikiLeaks, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. What I was talking about was not WikiLeaks. What I was talking about is Wikipedia. I put the two together, okay? So what WikiLeaks is standing for is the wickedness coming out of the government, which Julian Assange supports. Forgive me. Wikipedia is definitely wicked. That's why they post crap against the patriots all the time. Since that time, protesters of every political stripe have held rallies in support of Julian Assange outside of the embassy in London, including the left. That's right. It's a bipartisan effort here. The Gateway Pundit's Cassandra Fairbanks is in London covering events outside the Ecuadorian embassy. On Monday night, Cassandra spotted an undercover police vehicle staked out outside of the embassy. Why does this seat have a seatbelt over it with no person? Cassandra approached the vehicle on Tuesday late night and confronted the officer. She confronted the police for the third time. They covered their faces. How come you guys are watching him, but you don't want to be watched yourself? Why do the watchers not want to be watched? I like that, Cassandra. I just confronted the undercover police here tonight for the third time. How much is the covert operation costing taxpayer dollars? Good reporting, Cassandra. And royal mess. Queen steps in after Meghan Markle and Prince Harry plan to raise their baby on vegan diet. Well, if you don't know it, they already plan to raise their kid as transgender. That's right. They said whatever the kid decides at the age of 3 or 4, if the boy feels like a girl, go ahead and make it a girl. It is wiser than we know. Now the queen has stepped in to say, wait a minute on the vegan diet. Prince Harry and his new wife Meghan Markle are creating a lot of waves within the royal circles over their plans to reportedly raise their baby gender fluid and vegan. What a mess. The Queen is reportedly outraged at Meghan Markle's plan to raise the baby vegan, shunning centuries of royal traditions of hunting and eating meat. Oh, yes, we already know that there's been many lawsuits by the commonplace courts of Belgium against Queen of England for taking many kids on hikes and coming back with no kids because she murdered and then ate them up. Maybe that's what she's referring to. It's true, folks. Now, it's more important that Meghan Markle, that the Queen is more concerned with them eating meat and not going on a vegan diet, right? I mean, it doesn't matter that they want to raise their baby transgender, according to the Queen. What's more important to us? Obviously the opposite, huh? But according to royal sources, the Queen is outraged by the 37-year-old latest new age notion with Her Majesty 92, well known for her love of hunting down kids, murdering them, and drinking their blood. It's been the palace's prized sport for hundreds of years. That's true. Bringing up a child in the Windsor household who eats only plant-based foods really goes against the royal grain of drinking blood. The Queen won't have it, a source tells Woman's Day. It created tense discussions between Meghan and Harry, who doesn't want to upset his grandmother. He's hoping Meghan will settle once the baby comes, and he's putting this latest polarizing idea down to heightened emotions while being pregnant. The source continued, Meghan keeps pushing the boundaries with the royals, and it's not being well received of these devils in high places, least of all by HM. Meghan seems to have little regard for royal traditions, but bringing the baby up as a vegan simply won't be tolerated by the monarch. Last month, it was reported that the Meghan Markle will avoid dressing baby Sussex in pink or blue clothing like others raising they-bees, children who are not referred to as he or she. If it wants to be a she-it, a half she and a half man, then praise Satan for it. Vanity Fair's Kate Nichol told the Entertainment Tonight that the nursery was going to be very modern. It's going to be very progressing into hell. Apparently, it's going to be a monochrome palette. Whites and grays, I'm told, will be the color theme for baby Sussex's nursery. Very interesting because I think it's the third and fourth horsemen of the apocalypse. The first horseman is white, and the final horseman is pale or gray. Parents raising gender-fluid babies are all of a part of a Marxist movement to turn societal norms upside down. Oh, yeah. I mean, after all, we've already turned the church upside down and took the man off the pulpit, especially that white man. He's the devil. And now we have a bunch of black men pushing racism on the church, especially in many churches. And then, but most of all, we have a woman has risen to the pulpit. Even though Paul the Apostle said, it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. Let her ask her husband when she gets home if she has any questions. According to the study, one child under the age of 16 transitions every day, often with a new name, as we enter the time of the heathen. Ezekiel 30, verse 3. And thank you for listening. May the Lord bless. Now, folks, you know what I think of medicinal marijuana from the THC psychedelic side of it, but the facts are cannabis industry has been unleashed by our president when he signed into law the 2018 Farm Bill legalizing medicinal marijuana into federal law. President Trump realizes the benefits of medicinal marijuana and its need to be researched at the federal level. So this has opened all kinds of sides of the industry to be explored as this industry continues to grow at a phenomenal rate. The fact is, cannabis industry is a very lucrative industry. The fact is, people are abandoning their wine tours for cannabis tours in America now. Cannabis is here to stay, and it's only getting bigger by the day. Cannabis has many medicinal effects on the CBD non-psychedelic side of it. So whether your investment be growing it or buying into the stocks of cannabis, it is a win-win situation. As this industry continues to explode, please check out the long informational video posted in the link down below below, where John Boehner, former Speaker of the House, is speaking about it. He's all in on it. Whether you are for smoking it or for the non-psychedelic CBD side of it, that is your choice what you do with it. You can't pass up this chance to take advantage of this informational offer on how to make a bundle of money on a medicinal plant that was created by God and on the face of the earth for our benefit, but was outlawed for several years.